Tony Selzo here. Welcome to the Zip Line. I've got Chris Beltran with Passageways on. And what Passageways does is really has this dynamic collaboration software that has really expanded to get into some other space. Hey, Chris, tell us how Passageways got started. You have a great Indiana story. I really want to let everybody know about it.
Certainly. So the way Passageways got started is dorm room style at Purdue University. My business partner and I, Parun Chadha from India, came in. I was from Texas. Neither of us from Indiana, but we started at Purdue getting our degrees, and we cooked up some collaboration software out of our dorm room. We got an investment from a local credit union, Purdue Employees Federal Credit Union up in West Lafayette.
Wow.
And we ended up staying right out of college, staying here in Indiana, haven't moved out since. And it's been a ride ever since. So yeah, that's basically how it started.
So how long did it actually take you guys to really go from the dorm room to where you're at now? You've been around 5 years, right?
A little bit more, 8.5 years. So, yeah.
8.5 years. And
we started out with $100,000 in funding.
Wow.
We never took in any rounds after that. We've been profitable since day one, which is great.
Yeah. Amen. So you're funded here out of Indiana, out of a credit union out of Lafayette. And what has been some of the challenges that you've faced in really kind of finding the talent that you need? What's the challenge doing a startup in Indiana? I know you've got one of those one-in-a-million stories, but what have you found is been a challenge to launch a technology company out of the state?
One of the things with us being in West Lafayette and not Indianapolis or one of the biggest cities is that we're in a college town. And unfortunately, we thought we would be able to get a lot of talent out of the college town, but it turns out a lot of college kids don't want to stay in that same town. They want to go off and, go out of state and do some things. So the other thing is that Indiana doesn't have necessarily a popular reputation for being a great place for software developers. We don't have a lot of co-working locations. We don't have a lot of places where guys hang out and code all night long, 24 hours a day, that kind of thing. We're just now starting to see some of that.
Right.
So our original challenges was how do we retain really great talent in here, and how do we get the rest of the community kind of around the startup mentality? Because one office can have great offices and great environment, but if you don't have the community at large and local in town, there's not local hackathons and lots of great things happening, they don't feel like they're part of a greater community. So,
and that's one of the great initiatives you've really taken on, is to embrace that with the TEDx stuff that we've talked about in the past, and really sponsoring that and driving that. And I want to shift gears for a little bit, Chris, because I really want to get to talk about your products and what you guys do that's different. So you started in a collaboration environment to really have people track their career path for these credit unions. Is that fair?
That's absolutely correct. Yeah. So we started out thinking about how do tellers and CEOs collaborate together? How does a CEO spread his mission across distributed offices? Like in a bank, you have branch offices. In a hospital, you have clinics. Originally started in credit unions and banks, so mostly financial systems. But everything was all about how do you guide their career up through? What do I need to do to get senior vice president? How do I learn my courses the right way? How do I get informed of certain things happening? What about policies and procedures? Can we fund a Ferrari? Will we give you an auto loan on a luxury vehicle?
Right.
How do I know where to get that answer? And who's the expert in this new organization I just joined to help me answer that question?
Wow.
So,
And what has been, now, as you've evolved that, so you've started to see new opportunities, and that's led to this new product that you've been launching. That's really the kind of the sister child that's taken off, right? The product that's going after this boardroom collaboration, which is really, I think, an awesome solution. Talk to me about that.
That's absolutely right. So we started out thinking about the tellers, branch managers, and project managers, and lo and behold, it started that a lot of banks were saying, well, our board of directors have the same problems. They're distributed, and distributed collaboration is really our sweet spot. So these board of directors were floating all over the country or all over the city, and they would meet regularly once a month, but they had the same needs. They have to come together, make a set of decisions based on a common set of information, and then be able to act on them and move them, record them, and then pass that through the organization. And that collaboration is very similar to what happens inside an organization. So we introduced a board portal product about a year ago, and now it's been a huge hit. We ended up doing 5 times our sales. We're in 4 countries now, almost 400 customers. some of the largest names in the country, and we're really, really happy about it. So it turns out these small board of directors, 15, 20, 25 people at public companies as well as private, have a huge need to be able to collaborate on devices like an iPad or just on their normal PC at home.
Yeah. So you're any device, you're device agnostic, right?
Yep, that's absolutely right.
But you're taking this distributed intelligence, if you will, and you're getting them to collaborate on a platform and organizing those ideas and thoughts in a way that can get everybody there more productive. And because it's almost a social sharing type of environment. Is that fair?
That's absolutely right, with all the funness of compliance and governance kind of laid over that. So we can chat and do things on sidebars on the board, but if we're in a big public company, maybe those chats have to be treated a certain way, or they have to be secured down.
Right.
Or maybe I'm excluded from some of those chats because I'm not, privy to that part of the conversation. So we ended up doing that really well with compliance. With our upbringing being financial services, we do that really well. So when we bring in the social tools and the social collaboration, that ends up being a real match made in heaven for us.
So if you're trying to wrangle a board, like I know I've done many times, you're trying to pull all those people together. The agony of just catching everybody up to where you're at that point in time, instead of rehashing old issues where people missed the last meeting, all that can be done in real time, and it can be governed by the regulations that are dictated in that environment. And all on a software-based solution that tracks anybody's interaction and really facilitates conclusions to an end that's greater for the company. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Yeah, we take advantage of, we don't do just the website stuff. We're right in the native iOS store on iPad, for example. You get very, very good, rich interaction with the device. The camera can capture you. Think about attending a board meeting just off your iPad. No webcam on your PC, no Skype or GoToMeeting or anything like that. Just straight off your iPad, the app securely identifies you, brings you right into your board meeting, puts your board, understands the agenda, understands the chairman, where he's at. Is he on the finance section or the HR section? Understands how to take a vote, even though you're sitting, at your house or on your couch. You can take a vote, do a motion. It gets parliamentary procedure very, very well. All sorts of really, really good stuff. So very rich interaction through these devices and being able to get you as close to that board meeting as you can.
So whether you're trying to govern or trying to career path a frontline employee, or you're trying to wrangle a board, check out passageways.com. Just one of the up-and-coming businesses, the breakthrough companies of Indiana and in the next decade. I'm just proud to have you on the show. Hey, Chris, you've been zip, buddy. I appreciate you.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Anytime.